It's Bible study time. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for your grace and your mercy, and most importantly, we thank you for the word we're about to receive. So, have you ever caught yourself thinking, why me? Well, I have the answer. You're dealing with spiritual warfare. That is why it is so important to be like-minded Christians, because this life is not easy. And if anybody has ever told you that being a follower of Christ is easy, they lied. It is rewarding, but it is far from easy. Once you give your life to Christ, you are opening up the door for suffering. And suffering in the sense of the closer that you get to God, the harder those demons are gonna come. Satan's mission is to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. He doesn't want you to be happy. So picture it as if you're literally battling, like swinging and fighting for your life against an entity that you can't even see. And that thing is Satan. Because that's literally what's happening. We are fighting against things that are deeper than the flesh and blood. We are shown this in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiveness, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of God, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. Lately, I've been reading a devotional by Derek Prince called Spiritual Warfare, and he reminded me that evil isn't a what, but a who. And as a Christian, we have the biblical mandate to overcome that evil. Fun fact, in the Old Testament, Satan's name was Satan, the one who resists or opposes. And in the New Testament, his name is the devil, slanderer or accuser. But his name was originally Lucifer, and he was in charge of a lot of angels. There is no definitive number of fallen angels stated, but in the book of Enoch, it mentions a large group of watchers who rebelled against God, sometimes interpreted as numbering in the hundreds or even thousands, with their leader often identified as who? Satan or Lucifer. But after all these angels fell from heaven, they've been here and they've been mad and causing ruckus ever since. An example of this can be found in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verses 12 through 13. Do not fear, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But Prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left alone there with the kings of Persia. In the book of Daniel, there is a passage describing a situation where Daniel prays and God hears him, but a spiritual entity, the Prince of Persia, is hindering the immediate delivery of the answer to his prayers. This passage explains that an angel was delayed for 21 days due to this opposing force, highlighting that even though God heard Daniel's prayer, a spiritual obstacle was preventing a swift response. See, just like Daniel, he didn't do anything, and just like you, Daniel was not above spiritual warfare. This is why Christians were instructed to fast and pray when going through something, as a way to deeply focus our attention on God, seeking His guidance, strength, and intervention in circumstances. So, back to the question, why me? It's not because you did anything, but because of the pledge you have made to follow Christ. That again is why it is so important to have a community, because you know what they say, when 2 or 3 come together. And for those of you that don't know, in the Bible, Matthew 18:20 says, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together, in my name, I am there amongst them." So, don't let the battle you're dealing with deter you from the desire and calling to follow Christ. And don't forget, pray, pray, pray.